Good day, everyone. This is Tim here, and today we'll be exploring how to create this flyer on PixelLab. Let's get right into it. Okay, so the design was for a church, actually the local assembly I attend, and I wanted the design to be quite simple, so it could be easily replicated by anyone at any given point in time. And because of that, I stuck to using minimal elements, colors, and also fonts. So this was the theme for the design, but actually the design was meant to be a a constant theme. So the theme could be swapped out every time it changed, and that was why the focus of the design was on the program and not the theme. So I wanted the text to actually take central position for the design, considering it was going to be the whole focal point of the design. And through this part, I just tried to make a suitable layout for the text. If you notice, there's a lot of moving around, rearranging. So I tried to make a suitable layout for the text, and later on, I got to pick the right font for it. But let's keep going. At first, I wasn't so sure on how to handle the Instagram handle and the address of the church because by some stroke of luck, I actually forgot about it when drawing out the concept on paper. And you can quite literally see this in the way I edited the address and the icon multiple times. 'Cause, yeah. But later on, I found a way around it. So I added what I would describe as tips to highlight the important parts of the design. I mean, the parts that were likely to get overlooked or missed, but they were just as vital to the message being passed. So I added um, three. Two was for the important parts, that's the name of the church and the logo. And the last one, sorry, the second one was for the address and the Instagram handle, very important pieces of information. And the third one was just for extra text to add a kind of casual feeling or to kind of tone down the seriousness of the design. Although the third text was placed behind a lot of other elements, so it won't be the most glaring thing that you'd see, but it's there to add a touch of playfulness if you can notice it. Okay, so yeah, I was basically just trying to find the appropriate text for the headline. I was thinking, considering the headline was going to be the most important thing and quite obviously the most visible thing in the design, the fonts that would carry it had to be appropriate for the tags. I picked a font that was bold and a bit tall to take up some of the space and also show quite visibly even if the design is minimized or in a small screen. So I didn't like the extra space that was in front of the Bible text, and that was why I added this shape to it. It's not totally necessary you add shape if you are recreating this on your end, but I just didn't like the space there, and that was why I added the shape. For this design, I selected three colors. Um, Black, not black exactly, a lighter tone of black, blue, and then plain white. Now, if you notice the shape under the all text, it kind of has these white stripes going alongside it, going through it, and I didn't really like that. That was why I duplicated and then merged together to replace with the original shape. Yeah, that way. So I wasn't quite satisfied by how the hidden text turned out. I felt it could be done better. So I tried experimenting with a few techniques, strokes, shadows, to come up with something that would look better than this. While editing the header, I realized the body text, that's the theme, Bible text, date, and time, were not really balanced per se. They left a lot of space above them and not really much space beneath. So I had to adjust the layout a bit to create for a more balanced look on the design. So yeah, I settled with this kind of staggered layout where the eyesight moves from one corner to the other corner and then to the final corner. That's from the breakthrough hour down to the date and time and then the theme. And I also introduced a background here, as you can see on the screen, to ensure I didn't have a plain white background. Remember I said the design was meant to be simple so it can be easily replicated. But then also, it's a kind of general rule in design not to, except the design is printed, to not leave the background as a plain color, except the design is going to be printed as a maybe banner, signage, or plain flyer. But this design was meant to be purely, it was meant for purely digital use, and so I couldn't leave the background blank. That's why I introduced this pattern to come into the background as an element. And now with this, I was done with the design on PixelLab, but I also wanted to add a few finishing touches. So I went over to Snapseed. Um, it's an app for Android and iOS users. You can get the app from Google Play Store. I used it to add a few finishing touches or finishing edits to the design I created. Let's go over there. So Snapseed is a photo editing app with what I could describe as a very intuitive user interface. Basically, all the tools there are easy to use, and if you play around with it for a while, you could easily find your way around. So I use the app to add a vignette to the design. That's the dark border line around the entire thing, and a bit of green. Yeah, for people who are already familiar with photo editing, in some places it's called noise. It's this kind of grainy effect or kind of little dots you find on the background. When you're doing it, you can zoom in a bit or zoom into the video. You see what I mean better. And that brings us to the end of this design tutorial or design video. If you enjoyed this so far and you waited to the end, please don't forget to drop a like, a comment, and subscribe. And turn on post notifications so you can get notified every time I drop a new video. I remain Tim Toko Konsami.